Okay, thank you everyone for being with us today. My name is Kim Casey. I am a board member for the Jerry Ambrose Veterans Council, and I'm the moderator for this podcast. Uh, I want to give you a quick bio of our president, and I'm going to our website. He is a U.S. Navy veteran. Pat has spearheaded the first ever and ongoing at-risk veterans stand-downs for the past several years. In-kind donations and volunteer donations come. And Pat is also a member of the Arizona Veterans Hall of Fame, the American Legion, and the Elks. So anyway, we're real happy to have everyone here together. And Pat, you're on.
Oh, thank you, Kim. I appreciate you moderating this. The Jerry Ambrose Veterans Council has been in business for 15 years now, and I've been here for 14 of them. And we started out slow, being like a singular organization, and realizing that there were a lot of problems. We've expanded our group of organizations, agencies, individuals, volunteers to over 60 at this time. And we go by the motto there's no wrong number to call if you have a problem. Because if we can't have an answer, we'll refer you to other agencies. And one of the finest agencies that we refer to is Catholic Charities, who have been in business for over 100 years. Okay. And they are all over the country, and they are a fantastic organization. And our local program manager is Danielle Holloway, and I want to let her tell you a little bit about her organization. So, Danielle, welcome.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Kim. So like Pat said, Catholic Charities has been around for many years, and we do help the community's most vulnerable by walking alongside them, reaching pathways to success. But I'm here to talk about our veterans programs and what that looks like in Northern Arizona. So we do service most of Arizona, Northern Arizona, specifically in the counties of Mojave County, Coconino, and Yavapai. In Mojave County, we have a large presence. And so I'll talk about just the different things that we are doing. First, it is outreach. We outreach the entire community. It's not just the big cities of Bullhead and Havasu and Kingman, but we're everywhere. If there is a veteran and really anyone with our other outreach teams in experiencing homelessness, we're trying to find them where they are, meet them with their needs. We also partner with other agencies, food banks, thrift stores to help get people their essentials, food, water. In the summertime, it's brutally hot and water is life-saving. And so we help to outreach to those individuals, meeting them where they are, trying to bring them resources and getting them connected. We look at outreach as planting seeds, so that way when a person is ready to get the help they need, we can help guide them to where they need to go. We really do focus on connecting people to agencies along with ourselves. We do have a shelter in Bullhead City. That shelter provides day services. It's located at 1594 North Oatman Road. And the day services that are offered to anyone in the community, whether you're experiencing homelessness, whether you are experiencing food insecurities, whether you just need to, you're making ends barely meet and you need to do a load of laundry, you can come on down to our shelter. We have laundry, showers, 2 hot meals a day, access to computers, access to resources, the ability, like our individuals that are experiencing homelessness, a lot of times they get stuck in this cycle because they don't have their basic documents. And the only way to request an ID is to have a place to get it mailed to you. And so we provide an address where they can actually get their mail sent to, so that they can start getting things like their IDs, their social security cards, things like that. We also provide 1 extra meal for our overnight guests, which is our breakfast. Our overnight guests, we can serve 40 individuals, 20 males, 20 females. We have 2 additional beds that are set aside specifically for the police department. So if there is an emergency that happens in the middle of the night, they don't have to take them and put them in jail. They can actually bring them to the shelter for a place to be for the night, and then we get them connected to services. And then we have our veterans wing. So our veterans wing can house 8 veterans, and it is set up as a Jack and Jack, Jill and Jill type setup where the Jack and Jack share a bathroom between the two, and Jill share a bathroom between those two. That, like I said, houses 8 veterans. They have a private shower and they have a veterans lounge. So they have the ability to just be separate away from the general individual population. We also have a family shelter, and what's unique about our family shelter is we can house 3 families at any given time, and it doesn't matter the makeup. This is unique to Mojave County because if you happen to have a single father and he has his children with him, there's no other place in the county where he can go. Our family shelter is unique in that most of the shelters either do not allow children or are set up as domestic violence shelters. So it's set up for women and their children. So that's pretty unique. We don't care what your family looks like. We just care that you can all fit in one room. We house 3 families at a time. They all share, they each have their own private bathroom, and then they all share the living space, the kitchen. They have the ability to do laundry, and that is separate from the actual individual shelter, completely separate. And there's a little place for the kids to play out back. Beyond that, with those stays, all of the stays are 30 days. And if you are working towards bettering your situation, maybe it's you're getting a job and getting your documents and you're trying to work towards permanent housing, we will extend that stay 2 times so that you can stay a maximum of 90 days. Our goal is to get everyone housed in that time that is looking to do that and are working towards it. So we work really hard. When it comes to the veterans that are in the veterans wing, we have a very high success rate, more so than anywhere else I've seen, because we get them connected to housing so quickly. And that leads us to the main reason I'm here is our Veteran Services Program. So the Veteran Services Program is an SSVF program. That stands for Supportive Services for Veteran Families. That program helps individual veterans that are experiencing literal homelessness. That means they're sleeping in a place that's not meant for habitation. They're in a car, they're outside, they're unsheltered, they're living in emergency shelters. They're in hotels that are paid for by somebody else, not them or anyone in their household, to where they can go ahead and get services immediately. We also help those that are at imminent risk of homelessness, meaning within 30 days they will be experiencing homelessness because maybe they received a non-renewal of their lease, or maybe it's an eviction notice or a 5-day pay or quit. And we have the ability to catch people before they become homeless with the SSVF program to help prevent them from experiencing the trauma that comes with experiencing homelessness. The SSVF program does have some limitations. We do go, it is income based, but what that means is like if for an individual person, it's 80% underneath the area median income, which that's looking at roughly $3,200 a month for a single individual. They make less than that, then we can help you. If it's a veteran that they also have to be an eligible veteran. And the only disqualifications for an eligible veteran are dishonorable discharge. So if you have an uncharacterized or under general, we can still help. We don't put any limitations on that. National Guard, we cannot help unless that they have been called to active duty under the Title 10. And with that, then they become eligible for SSVF. So those are the main components. Head of household does need to have a veteran. So if you got to be a veteran to be in the veteran program. But Catholic Charities also offers a housing program for individuals that are also not veterans that is separate from us. At Catholic Charities, we really try to focus around wraparound services. So, how are we meeting your basic needs, as well as how are we getting you to a point where you can become self sufficient without any assistance? How are we connecting you to individual resources? So, we work very closely with Jerry Ambrose. We work very closely with the VA. We work very closely with the Arizona Department of Veteran Services to help people increase their benefits, to get connected to HUD-VASH, to use transitional housing, to get them connected so that they no longer need assistance. And we also work with community partners like local food banks, the thrift stores, because once we do get people housed, you know, you're coming from a lot of our clients are coming from homelessness and they're out in the desert, and when they get into a house you need to make it feel like a home. And so that's where we work with like the local thrift shops to help us get them couches and chairs and a place to a dinner table and the things that our SSVF program can't provide. We do always provide them a brand new bed, and we get them the basic household goods that a part of the SSVF program. We can help with some limited items like transportation, if it is for the purpose of securing their housing. So if it's a matter of we are helping them to get to doctor's appointments, we can provide gas. If we're helping them get to look at properties, we can help get them, a tank of gas to meet those things. We pay application fees to get people into the housing with landlords, and we really try to look at the entire picture. We don't just, give them their security deposit and walk away. We really try to make sure everybody's stable before we let them go. The bulk of the program is mostly rental assistance and move-in costs. It is about trying to get people housed. And as long as we can, whatever the individual's need is, if we can tie it back to housing, we will try to make that work and meet that. We work, like I said at the beginning, throughout Mojave County. So we are in the little cities of Hackberry and Dolan Springs and Yucca and everywhere in between, all, as well as just Bullhead City. I know we have our shelter in Bullhead City, but we're in Kingman, we're in Havasu, we're all over the county. To wrap up, I really just want to say that a lot of people, when they think of homelessness, they think about what they're seeing in the movies or they're seeing on TV, and homelessness isn't what we see. Homelessness isn't a bunch of people that are addicted to drugs or are mentally ill. It is your neighbor whose wife just died and they can no longer support themselves, and now they have a sudden loss of income. It is somebody who's had a health situation, or the landlord has decided that they can rent the property for much more if they just don't renew the lease when it's done, and they bring in a new family and they can turn it into an Airbnb. There's lots of reasons why move-in costs are so incredibly expensive. Affordable housing is a real issue that we're meeting every single day. When landlords are asking for 3 times the rent and you have a veteran that's on a fixed income, it's next to impossible to get them any kind of help with, or get them any kind of housing without some kind of assistance. And that's why working with Jerry Ambrose and Catholic Charities working together to get these veterans housed is so incredibly important. And it's caused by so many factors, more than just what you see. So the last thing I would add is if you ever need to get in touch with Catholic Charities, the best person to call is our outreach worker. His name is Chris Kincaid. His number is 928-300 0185, and he will come to where you are to get you connected to resources, whether it's Jerry Ambrose, whether it's Catholic Charities, or anyone else in between. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions for me, Pat?
Yeah, do you have a local website?
We do have a website for the shelter that kind of connects Mojave County, but that I can get that to you after this segment
Okay.
because I don't know the exact. It's a Facebook link where exactly that is, so I'll get that to you afterwards, and maybe we can attach it in the comments.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Kim, do you have any questions?
Well, no questions other than response. I'm amazed at Catholic Charities, and this isn't my first time to come in contact with them. Um, I was with the charity in Phoenix for a long time, and Catholic Charities was part of our community partnership. So I'm just thrilled with it. And the other reaction is that it really does take a community to make this happen.
Very much.
At arm's length, phone calls, communication, all kinds of assistance. And Jerry Ambrose is one of the ones that would be primary to assisting those that need this kind of help. If the viewers were impressed, which I'm sure you would be, but the viewers would be impressed with this video, I will be posting it on our website, and it's, of course, it's on YouTube. But if you think about it, please consider a donation for the Jerry Ambrose Veterans Council. I've got the link at the bottom of my frame, www.javc.org/donation. And that's all you have to do. We appreciate you beyond belief, and I have nothing else. I'll see you at the next one.
I have one ad. If
Okay?
you're watching this and you enjoyed what you saw, hit the subscribe button. Doesn't hurt at
Yes,
all, and it helps us, okay? And thanks to
subscribe.
everybody for tuning in. All right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Stop recording. All right.